Yo lads, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for clicking on today's video. Now, today I want to talk about the spawns. Yes, a full video dedicated to some of the dreadful spawns on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. Not Modern Warfare 12 years ago, in case some of you get mixed up, because some of you, for some reason, have been getting mixed up between Modern Warfare, which came out last year now, yes, last year, and the game which came out 12 or 13 years ago. I don't know why that confuses some people, but just to clarify, Modern Warfare, which released in 2019, and if you don't know what that is, please give it a Google search. Can't believe I'm clearing that up, but let's move on. Now, I hope you can see on screen now, I've got some, my last couple of videos I've had them in, I've got some fantastic examples of some of the awful spawns in Modern Warfare. I know this is a small map, I know it's a bit of a grindhousey map, but it's not just limited to this. The terrible spawns are on every single map, in any 10 vs 10 game mode, and shit, this isn't 10 vs 10, this is 6 vs 6, on a smaller map, and the spawns are still dreadful, but near enough you can pick out any map, and the maps aren't even that rememberable. I can't remember any of the names, honestly, apart from the ground war ones. That is how dreadful the maps have been this year, but you can pick out any map, point me to a map, and I can guarantee you've all been spawn killed on it. They've all got dreadful spawns. And I don't know why. In some of my videos, I get critiqued for praising COD, and I get critiqued for pointing out negatives which could be improved and which would make the game a 10 times better game. It's like I get hated regardless of what I say. I don't know why some of you have to suck COD's dick regardless of what you say something subjective like the spawns are shit. And you're like, I can't say that, you can't. Honestly, just like, take your head out of Activision's ass for just a second and look at the game subjectively and see what's wrong with it. The spawns are dreadful. You can't even argue that point. I enjoy the game, but I'm not going to shout someone down and call them stupid and a retard and a fuckwit for pointing out the obvious when it can't be denied. How can some of you get so triggered? Chill. Okay, so as you can tell, I'm pretty on point with this subject, and I think I know what needs to be done. I think I know what I'm talking about in terms of really anything to do with Call of Duty now. I've clocked up 1 day and 12 hours of gameplay on Modern Warfare, so for those of you who say that I'm not educated enough to speak on this subject, I've not played enough, I've not got a good enough feel on the game, I'm going to say this in the nicest way possible. Fuck yourself, because I have. I've had a shit year, and I've put lots of my time into Call of Duty as a result of that, because I've lost motivation to do other things, so I fucking know, as sad as that sounds, I'm going to know what I'm talking about. This is the most I've played a Call of Duty game since Modern Warfare 3, or possibly Black Ops 2. So, before you leave stupid comments like that, fuck yourself. Now, clearly action needs taking. It sounds like it should be a simple fix, but for some reason, Infinity Ward are making it a huge process and making it seem like you're asking them to find Pandora's box, or open Pandora's box, and it's just not that hard, Infinity Ward. It really isn't. We just need some mechanics in place to improve spawns. What I would propose, if you're watching, which I doubt you are, not many people are watching, but what I would propose is, now, I'm not sure there's any barometers in place as of this moment that signify where and when you can't spawn. Obviously, you'll spawn near, if you own objectives, like in Domination, you'll spawn near the objectives you own. But then in more game modes where there's no objectives, like Team Deathmatch, Free For All, Kill Confirmed, there's no set spawn location on a flag or headquarters unless you've got the point, and you don't spawn anyway in headquarters, but you get what I mean. There should be barometers in place to where you can spawn. In modes like Domination, of course, you're going to get spawned on the flag. But what I'd propose is, if you own the flag and there's tons of enemies crowding around it, not to spawn you on directly on them. You should be within 5 meters. There should be 5 meters within your either side of you, all 360 around you. Within 5 meters, there's no enemies, and that should be a barometer, a mechanic built into the game to make sure you do not spawn if there is an enemy within 5 meters of you. Even if you're at a domination flag and it shouldn't spawn you near the flag, it should spawn you away from it if it's being captured. But no, for some reason in the game, it spawns you on the flag when people are capturing it and you end up dying. It's stupid. It's just like, who the fuck made this? And then in Team Deathmatch, I found myself spawning so many times next to a fucking enemy. Is there nothing that checks? Oh, we need to... Is it just too much coding into the game? You just can't be bothered. You've got a studio of over 300 employees, Infinity Ward, and you can't bother to put this into the game in some capacity. That, to me, just screams out laziness. I work for a company with around 40 people, and we do a lot of coding and lots of things all in-house, and there's like 2 people per department. So they can't give me this bullshit that it's a lack of resources, because they've got all the money in the world from Activision and all the employees in the world, and they could put an advert out on the website and get like a world-class programmer or art designer or just anything in general. So a lack of resources is not acceptable before all you COD ponies come and start fucking defending them. It's not acceptable, and fuck yourself if you think that. So what I propose really is pretty simple. It should be implemented. This could be put in the next update. I think we need to get some traction behind this, because clearly it isn't implemented now. Whether they want to use the excuse of it's too much coding or it doesn't need to be implemented. Our spawning system is fine, just like the skill-based matchmaking is fine, but yet every single person complains and they don't listen to their core fans. There should be a system, 5 meters at either side of you. If there is, you cannot spawn. Yes, it can be avoided on some maps like this. Maybe narrow it down to 2 meters at either side of you. But look at some of the spawns I'm getting in this map, lads. Look at them. Within a second, I get killed. Literally move an inch, bang, you're dead. And I've had it where people have spawned in front of me and I've killed them. Of course I'm going to kill them. I'm not going to not kill them, because then they'll kill me. And that's how these people are feeling about me. If I spawn next to them, they've got to kill me or I'll kill them. Well, the system shouldn't be there in the first place. Why the fuck should you spawn next to someone? On the smaller maps, maybe put it down to 2 or 3 meters. Any side of you can't spawn. But if there is people there, wait till they die before it lets you spawn. Do not let the people spawn until the people who are around them have gone. It's simple. If there is people around you, it puts you into a countdown process until they die. I'd rather wait instead of being a little Rambo wannabe motherfucker and going in the game and dying and then spawning again, dying, spawning again, dying, spawning again, and just keep going through a process of dying, spawning again, dying, like you've just seen on the screen, dying, spawning again. It's just fucking stupid. And if people don't want to fucking deal with the waiting process, they can fuck off and go and play other games like Counter-Strike. We don't want them anyway, because they're the little COD pony, dickhead, little ranting bastards in the game that give the game a bad name and turn people away from COD and make other people who don't play Call of Duty think Call of Duty is a childish game, because we have too many of these little Rambo wannabe motherfuckers in the game. And they give us all a bad reputation, so if it fucks them off, fantastic. But that's where marketing and sales come into it. Activision wouldn't be happy, the marketing wouldn't be as good from all those little twats slagging off Call of Duty, and the sales would dip, because the reason they buy the game is to be little Rambos. But it seems they are taking steps to get away from that reputation, and they are taking steps to be more like Battlefield, surprisingly, even though they have better sales than Battlefield. I've had the massive ground war inclusion this year. That's where they seem to have spent most of the time fine-tuning ground war gameplay and making ground war maps and making ground war more enjoyable. Less time seems to have gone into standard game modes. So maybe they'll implement this, just maybe. If this gets enough traction, people share this video, people show it to Activision, show it to Infinity Ward, maybe they'll listen and they'll put in a spawning system that's not absolutely shit like they have now. Please, lads, if you enjoyed this video and you agree with me, please hit thumbs up and please share this video with your friends. Please leave a comment letting me know you agree with me so we can get some traction behind this. If you didn't agree with me and you're a goddamn Call of Duty pony or a COD cocksucker, hit dislike. Let me know why in the comment section again. Hate me all you want. You know this is right. You know this is right. You know this should be implemented into Call of Duty. It'll make it a more enjoyable game. It'll get rid of the cancerous players. And it'll just bring more people to play it. Yes, you'll lose all the cancerous ones, which might be worse in the long term. You'll lose more players than you'll gain. But over the long term, the players that would come in would outweigh the ones that have left massively. So this needs implementing, if you ask me. Anyway, boys, I love you all. I will see you all in the next one.
Wanna tie a kid down and keep me around, but I would never change. I'm a dog, I'm a hound, but I tell them what they wanna hear. They like how it sounds till I'm gone with the wind and I'm lost, never found. I met her at my show, then we smashed right after. If we go 3 rounds, then she fall in love faster. Very next morning, I'm Casper in another city for a show somewhere.